Hey, everybody. Thanks for the time. Appreciate you being here. Obviously, we're completely aware of climate change, finally, and the realities affecting people differently throughout the world. Some are confronting it every day. Some people, it's been an abstraction. But if you follow somewhere, wherever you may be, obviously it's less of an abstraction right now. I'm here talking to Tim and BaoBao, who are working on a project called Small Island, Big Song, which is using the power of music, the power of art to center voices of indigenous cultures throughout the Indian and Pacific Ocean, so people can share their perspective on what exactly has been going on in their lives, on their islands with climate change. Tim, BaoBao, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Derek.
Appreciate your time. How did this project start?
Wow, the two of us, we were living in Central Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I had a job at the Central Australian Aboriginal Media Organisation as in-house senior engineer, and we were living there. We'd been there for a number of years, and it was when we heard the IPCC report. And
IPCC's
in climate change.
Panel of scientists
Okay.
Across the world who are brought together by the United Nations to do reports on the state of our planet at the moment as in regards to the effects of climate change, and they put out this report, and it was just really sort of shook us, that particularly across the Pacific, the ocean, the expected sea level rise. We just finished a project in Vanuatu, Vanuatu Women's Water Music.
Yeah.
And to think, wow, these people, they're probably going to lose their islands. And that island group were the first declared as climate refugees by the United Nations.
Was it because it became a real thing? It became personal because you had spent time on these islands, you got to know these people? So when this report came out, it kind of hit home?
And we of course, we're aware and concerned, and I know we all are.
We all are.
Yeah. And we just thought, well, actually, we just have to, that whatever we do, that we have to put that in the front, in our lead of together what work we do and what can we bring to this issue as a music producer, a project manager.
And me personally, growing up in Taiwan, we were well aware of like sea level rise and coral bleaching. And when we went to Vanuatu together, it was really interesting that the elder from Vanuatu asked me, where you're from. And I said, I'm from Taiwan. And he said, oh, I know Taiwan because our ancestors come from Taiwan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that time, I was really surprised to hear that. But then we went online and through a lot of research. And then we found out about the Austronesian connection. And now we know that the connection of the Pacific and Indian Ocean is not just culturally connected, but also through this issue of climate change and sea level rise. That's why when we thought about doing something together, we thought this would be a really good framework, the diaspora, for us to reconnect and make music together.
That's beautiful. Yeah. It's as soon as we found out about it, it was absolutely perfect. when I first heard about the project, I was taken aback a little bit because you're dealing with so many different cultures. Obviously, they're all living on islands, but when you think of Australia, you think of Taiwan, you think of Mauritius, you think of Madagascar. Those are completely different cultures. But one of the things that draws them all together is art, music. So when you put this package together, it makes perfect sense. When you're dealing with something like climate change, people tend to compartmentalize that. It's like, I'll worry about that when the water is coming up to my front door. Somebody else's, it's they have to worry about it. It's like, it's not here yet. You always read the reports. It was like, oh, maybe 20, 30 years. Well, I don't have to think about that right now. Music and art especially, but music especially, connects people in ways that no other art form that I know of. And so suddenly I may not know the language of that person singing that song. I don't even know where this place is. I've never heard the name of this place. But somehow that song connects me to that person in a way that you'll never forget. So it's a really powerful tool. Was that what you were thinking about, or am I putting words in your mouth in that way? Was some of the intention behind this?
No, I think you're onto it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as artists, the role we can play is helping shape or guide like narratives, personal narratives, cultural. And, we sort of believe that there's lots of ways to address this issue. Like the medium is the message, that's a classic quote, that there's an inherent wisdom just in the music, in the sound, the phonetics, in the timbre of the instruments that may jog something, that may inspire a thought, that may inspire inquiry, and the whole narrative around what we're doing too. And look, we're all musicians, we're concert creators and music producers. What can we bring to this issue that comforts our own concerns, that we're acting, through the skills we have?
Our island is the size of Maryland. Our island, 50th most rainiest in the world. Our island houses 96 dams, the flow of life everywhere. Yet Taiwan is echoing nature's pain. Even in great abundance, equilibrium tipped means we're all teetering towards the edge. Droughts overcame us last year, the last one 50 years ago. The red light has gone off.
This is huge. I mean, you're dealing with all these different cultures. You're dealing with the amount of checks and balances that you have to deal with this to pull it off is legion. It's one thing to be in Melbourne. You know who to call to make things happen. This is a whole other level that you've taken on.
Yeah, and especially when we started the project, I've never done anything in the music industry, so I really just learned from the.
What were you doing before?
I studied business, so
Okay.
I sort of have a sense of how to manage things, but really I've learned so much during this project. But I often get people asking me, how do you deal with these? They're so complicated, but I really love it. I just feel every day I just feel this is my dream job. this is
It does.
this is what I want to do for my whole
Just
life.
as soon as I came in, I was like, "This is freaking magical."
Yeah, well, that's the
Yeah,
other thing,
you know, when you have you have a job you love. I'm just really happy I'm doing it, and we're doing it together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is great. This is awesome. Okay, logistics and everything else. This is a beautiful project. How'd you get the funding to make all this work?
Yeah, that's
it was-
real
it
world
was-
stuff. Yeah.
When we had the idea of doing small and big song, within 2 months we quit our jobs in Australia. We only have $5,000 between us,
Freaking hippies.
and we sold.
You could tell.
We sold 2 cars, everything we can. We didn't have a house, but,
Yeah.
and we spent 1 year just fundraising through crowdfunding,
Okay.
through writing grants,
And beginning.
and just start
Yeah.
start doing it. And once we start, more people heard about it, more support we will get. Like I often said, when you draw a circle big enough, then there will be space for other people to fill
Yeah.
in. And
Yeah,
I think that's, we started with just 2 people, but now you see when we're on tour,
Yeah.
we have a bus full of musicians and instruments.
And community
it's-
and relationships.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
why we
something.
imagine big, because this project, I had contacts in Papua New Guinea through my work there, Vanuatu and Taiwan, and originally we thought we can do a collaborative project with
Just
those 3
between,
countries. But
yeah.
we thought this is a far bigger story, and it's way beyond 2 people doing, but we've got to put the dream out there, and it's for the biggest of issues, to caring for our planet.
For our future.
Yeah, so as like music producers, and like we really thought what could bring to this issue, and one is knowing these extraordinary artists from different island communities that are carrying their culture, carrying their musical cultural lineage, but also concerns and the reality of facing these issues. We really felt it's a way to unite them across these huge regions. It's over half the Earth's surface. And by sharing these concerns, by sharing their culture, music, there's a chance to build strengths and comfort, comfort each other, and we hope to the listener as well, and to find platforms for them to, share stories, connect with people's, hearts and ears, shape narratives, change culture. Yeah.
Well done. That's great. Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.